Good morning. Oh, I noticed you also posted a tweet as well, Abby. Well, I posted a tweet. Well, double tweet. I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah. I mean, there's enough assholes that we could double tweet.
That's true. I didn't. I also didn't know that you changed the text, and then I immediately changed it as soon as I saw yours. Like I clicked enter. I'm so sorry. I'm the asshole. It was me all along.
You're so. Hey, switch the screen.
Oh right, I should do that.
Oh yeah.
You know, I have buttons that I could literally push to switch screens, and I just don't do it because I'm dumb. But I'm slowly waking up this morning. Before we get into pure rage, because that's technically what's gonna happen with me.
Oh, absolutely.
Man. Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to take a deep breath. How was your week? Honestly, how was your week? Was it good?
I mean, I don't live in Texas, so you know it can't be that
bad. And I do feel so bad for the many women in Texas who are women in Texas who are pro-choice, because pro-lifers, I understand, you know, they would be celebrating, and that's fine. Like, I'm not here to judge you based on pro-life or pro-choice, but what I am here to talk about is the fact that let's see, Texas. Wait, hold up. I'm sorry. My husband is screaming at my dog for some reason. I think he caught my dog doing something bad. Okay, sorry. Back to the anger.
Your dog?
My dog.
Dog?
Getting into things. Yeah.
Being bad?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, what has been going on is that Texas put out an abortion ban that bans abortions after roughly 6 weeks, which is awful because not a lot of people. Oh, this is the Texas stream. Yes, it's going to be Texas and other things, but yes.
It's going to start off with Texas, but we got other things that.
God. I'm just pissed off. Anyway, that's roughly after 6 weeks, which for a lot of women, they don't even know that they're pregnant after 6 weeks. And it just boggles my mind. Yes, I did hear that GoDaddy dropped the snitch site as a client.
I didn't hear that. Holy shit.
We'll get to that because it stirred up such a response because, first of all, they had the ban, right? Mm-hmm. But the Supreme Court didn't block the Texas abortion law.
Right.
By 5-4. And that's what happened on the 1st or 2nd. The vote was 5-4. So it wasn't even blocked. The Supreme Court couldn't block it, which is also, it just made it worse. Just everyone was so angry that it is now law. A lot of women in Texas are fearing for themselves that, you know, one mistake and it's them that goes to jail. There aren't, which pissed me off. It pisses me off because they believe in I guess, like the snitch site. Let's put it there. They believe in you overturning any woman that you know of was like planning to go and do it.
It's not just women, it's anybody that helped one of these women.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the women, it's the doctors, it's even, this is what pisses me off. They say it's even the husbands or their, you know, the other partners who agree to it. So if they don't agree or if they don't know about it, they could immediately be like, oh, I didn't know about this. I'm going to sue you for even doing this to my kid. What I mean by that is, okay, I should definitely put a trigger warning, actually. Before I continue, let me just, hold up. Because this is going to get me so heated. Let's see.
It's not good.
No, it really isn't.
So let's actually clarify for people who haven't heard. Like,
you clarify while I create a trigger warning here.
So, as you were saying, Texas, like, passed a law.
Look at it, it's all over
really
there.
Funny
Sorry.
to, like, type up.
I know. I'm gonna fix it.
So, you may want to turn that into red lettering, by the way. That I'm sure a lot of people have heard of Roe versus Wade, which allowed autonomy, like women have autonomy over their body, like Americans have autonomy over their bodies. And that's what Roe versus Wade allowed for women. And this abortion law now kind of overthrows that, because it, as you were saying, allows a woman to be arrested and thrown in jail and probably fined as well, up to $10,000 for having an abortion after 6 weeks. On top of this, it also allows people to report anybody that may have assisted this person in getting an abortion. Doctors, referrals, like actual like abortion clinics, like any, like as you were saying, spouses or partners who assisted this person to go get an abortion. Like people are pointing out, this could just be an Uber driver that picked this person up and dropped them off.
Yep. To a clinic? Like anyone who assists in this.
Right. And it's one of those things I'm like, okay, so what's going to happen if this person leaves the state? Like, are you going to start, like, suing people from other states? Like,
no.
What it sounds like, honestly, I know I'm going to derail this early on, and I'm very sorry. What this sounds like is, like, DMCA claims, where there's no accountability for the party accusing these people. Like, I can report people left and right, and nothing's gonna happen to me.
Right.
And like, that's a very minor thing, but I'm like, cool, like, what, like, so you can just sue the fuck out of anybody, it sounds like. There's no, like,
but it's
guidelines or repercussions or anything like that. It's just like, oh, okay, she left the state and got an abortion and came back. I'm going to sue this company out of state. I'm going to sue these people who are out of state. Like, no, can you do that?
Well, no. So that's the thing. It's only in Texas. They're only doing this in Texas. So that's what makes it okay. So a woman can go out of state to do it. However, the massive size of Texas, it makes it very difficult for a lot of people to be able to do that. Not only that, the surrounding, someone made a tweet about it, where Oklahoma and Louisiana, I think. Yeah. Well, okay, there's some states surrounding Texas. There's only 8 combined, like abortion clinics, safe abortion clinics, who are able to perform that. 8
around those states, those states. Other states
combined. So,
and there's Oklahoma, Arizona, and Louisiana, all on one side. I did not pass geography. I honestly do not remember any geography.
I was like, do I need to look at a map? But yes,
I probably do.
But there are a lot of women who just do not have the means to do that. Because not only do you have to leave the state, you have to find an appointment in one of those places that, there's not a lot of that would be able to do it safely, which is what is so terrifying is people, like, women are going to find ways. It is going to be so unsafe and incredibly harmful. And you can lose more lives that way.
Oh, absolutely.
But
there have always been abortions.
Yes.
Even before medicine was really streamlined, before Florence Nightingale enforced sanitary procedures. It's like there have always been abortions. And some
Mm-hmm.
of them are a lot more humane,
Mm-hmm.
but most of them are not, like, at all.
Mm-mm.
Um, and just to give a reference, I don't know if you've heard this, but I've heard, like, you can travel 3 hours in Houston and still be in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Texas is huge.
I think
It's
what,
so
to
huge.
travel across Texas, it's 12 hours.
Oh, I thought it was like 14, but yeah, you might be right.
Like, I think you may be right. I think it's over a full half day, honestly.
Yeah, it's so huge. And like you're going to ask someone has to take so much time out of their week to go out and then come back not tell anybody, you know,
Right.
it cuz it's going to be so traumatized. It's just too much. It's so much. It's so a lot to take in. And I just got so irrationally angry. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, well, you know, this we're finally saving lives and babies' lives." And I first of all, no, because what if there was a um what was it? Again, trigger warning. A lot of times there are babies who just die in the womb. You have to
'Cause
carry them to term. You are forced to carry that dead baby to term, and it
which is
can you,
heavily toxic to the mother.
yeah, I was about to say, can you imagine the mother who has to go through this, who can't talk about it while people congratulate her, saying, "Oh, I'm so excited for your baby," when she knows, how would she explain it to him? Be like, "I'm sorry, my baby's dead. I just can't get it out because of Texas." Do you know how traumatizing that is? It just,
Or,
ooh.
like, there's the baby that's dead, or there's a baby that wasn't born with a heart or a brain, because that
Mm-hmm.
happens too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There are like birth defects and complications that could kill a child.
Mm-hmm. Like, I don't. It's one of those things. It's to save the children. I'm like, okay, well, I assure you, not just Texas, but the entirety of the United States foster system is shit. Is absolutely
Oh
shit.
yeah.
The adoption programs are fucking shit.
First of
Like,
all, it's expensive to adopt. Like it's just expensive. And not only that, there are so many, what is it? Legal things to jump through to even have a child, to adopt a kid. So they
oh
make it even
yeah,
harder to adopt a kid. But not only that, I mean, besides the price and the expenses of it, there are so many kids in uh, that are put up for adoption that they don't know what to do with. Like there's too many kids in the system. There's just too many kids in the system. And like you can be like, "Oh, well, if you don't want it, you can always put it for adoption." First of all, sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up, because you don't know how hard it is to be able to do that, to willingly give your kid up for adoption like that. The trauma that comes with it. Because for most people, like for most kids growing up, they will try and seek out the parents of those of them, and then have to tell them, "Why did you give me up for adoption?" Like a lot of kids do that. They try to find their birth parents. It's just too much. Like it's and
well, I think it's one of those things that's like they try to find their birth parents because their home, like their adopted or foster parents aren't good people. They're
exactly.
like,
I was about
why
to
did
say
you
there
leave
are
me in this
so
terrible situation? Now,
yes,
there
there are
are
so
some
many.
good
Right.
adoptive parents. I know several that are very close family friends that it's like their children I would consider my siblings or my cousins,
Mm-hmm.
kind of close, that are very kind and very good people, but it's like I also knew friends in school, in college,
Mm-hmm.
as
Mm-hmm.
adults that did not end up that blessed or lucky.
I was gonna say it was also I've met some very good adoptive
Hmm.
parents, like I have, who, like when I grew up, there was this family who took like 4 or 5 adopted kids. Like they adopted them.
Hmm.
They raised them really well. And I remember them. because they were of all kinds of different racial backgrounds and everything. And I remembered how happy they all were. And that's also a reason why I want to adopt. I want to adopt a child more than giving birth to a child. Dead ass. I'd rather adopt. But I also know of people who abuse the system, because a lot of foster parents abuse the system to get money because the government pays them to foster these kids. And it just, I'm not saying that all foster parents are terrible. That is not what I'm saying, because I have actually met like pastors and just from my community who were foster parents, and they were fantastic. But I'm also not going to turn a blind eye and saying that there aren't foster parents who would take advantage, because there are foster parents who do take advantage of these kids for money. So the government can take care of them. It's awful. It's so bad. And then they abuse these poor kids.
Yep.
So, and I'm not saying that these kids should have never existed. That is not what I'm saying. Don't get it twisted. But you can't just say, oh, well, if we have these abortion laws and you shouldn't have had this kid, then put it up for adoption. Shut the fuck up. Sit down. Shut the fuck up. It is not as easy when people say that. Or, and this gets me too, well, if you didn't want kids, you shouldn't have had sex.
Like, oh no. Like, I grew up in a conservative household.
Mad.
I grew up in a conservative household,
so did I.
It's just like premarital sex was a big no-no kind of situation, and it's like very like closed off like world. So it's like very sheltered and stuff like that. It's just like sex is bad. And then in college, a college past, like, so there was like the youth pastors and the ministers and things like that, and then there was like the college like group that had a college pastor kind of thing, and he said something to us that I'm just like, can you be saying that to us? Is this okay? I know we're all adults, but like, how does the church feel about you saying this? And then it like hit me. It's like, you're not wrong. He said that it's just like, sex is a wonderful thing. It is meant to be good. We get that. But you should try, like, again, not like pushing abstinence, but it's just like, you should just save yourself for the one that God intended for you. Because
that also pisses me off.
But okay, so that was a minister thing. He wasn't pushing abstinence or anything like that. He was just pushing a more mindful sexual experience, if that makes sense. That it's just like, just don't blindly have sex. Have sex with someone meant for you in the religious sense, who God chose for you. But it's just like, why is sex good only for married people and not, like, I get 18 and older, good for consenting adults. Why is it not good for consenting adults?
So this is what gets me. Again, I live in a very conservative household, okay? And I will say this as well. I'm a psychology major. I got my bachelor's in psychology and sociology, okay? So I also know that for many people, having sex drive does help with, easing stress and all of this. And like, I'm not here to diss anyone who do want to save themselves from marriage. If you want to do that, I am all for it. That is your choice, and I think that you should be able to make that choice. That is your choice, keyword choice, to do so, and I will respect that. But those who are forced, who do not have a choice, those are what I'm talking about, that piss me off. Like, Because I've seen parents who disown their kids when they found out they just had sex. Because for a lot of kids, and this is again, I should also say this. I am a pastor's daughter. And for the longest time, kids in our church, our youth, didn't know about sex or how they're, because you start when this starts hitting you at puberty, okay? For teenagers, your sex drive starts picking up in your teens. They didn't know what to do with it, and they started acting out because of it, because their parents refused to talk to them about it. They're like, oh no, the school should teach you. The schools never taught me. They never taught me. No, we had a health class. Our health class never taught about sex. You know what it taught about? And this is what pisses me off. They talked about anorexia and bulimia in women. They only talked about anorexia and bulimia in women. They didn't talk about...
Admittedly, it's more prone in women, but it's just like, it's not exclusive to women.
Yes, but all the boys in the class didn't pay attention because they're like, oh, well, this doesn't apply to me. I'm not going... We were teenagers. We didn't know what the fuck to do. And thankfully, my dad, and I was so grateful for him, because someone talked to him about it, because it got to a point that, we started becoming teenagers, like our youth group. And we were one of the first youth groups of the church, right? Mm-hmm. He brought in somebody into the church to teach the teens about sex, how to put on a condom. It was like it was interesting. I was 13, so I was a late bloomer. I was like, I don't want to do this. I'm not feeling these things. So like I didn't hit puberty till much later. So I was like, I don't want to hear about this. I'm leaving. And he was like, that's fine. It's fine. It's mostly for kids who are feeling those feelings. So I was like, yeah, that's fine. But because of that, I can't tell you how many questions those kids asked, like those teenagers asked, like what to do, how to do it. Like, it was something that I was very proud of my dad to do. See, and that's something that I wish more people in the community would be brave enough to talk about. Because if your parents aren't able to talk to you about it, find someone, like divert them to someone who will be able to talk to you about it. Thankfully, I learned in like AP psychology, just biology and stuff, and from teachers as well, in a healthy way, what to do with your feelings. But it sucks because a lot of kids don't do that. I'm sorry, I'm reading your chat as well.
Yeah, I know. Like I get that, because it's like I didn't have any sexual education. Like the one time I did was in elementary school in 5th grade. So it's kind of like, it's that talk where they separate the guys and the girls. Oh, and yeah. They did give you like information. It's like, you're gonna go through puberty, you're gonna start realizing that there's gonna be changes, and we're gonna, like, you have a uterus, you're gonna have a period, it's gonna bleed once a month, anywhere between 27 days to 31 days. It's like, as long as it's normal for you, here's a little packet. This is what a tampon is. This is what like a pad is. This is a little bit more of a booklet information for you about periods and stuff like that. I didn't get anything else. Middle school, nothing. I was homeschooled for 6th grade, but 7th and 8th grade, nothing. High school, went to a private school. We didn't get that. We got a biology class in 10th grade, and when we got to human sexuality, or like the sexual reproductive chapter, which was chapter 26, I remember it very clearly.
Wow.
The teacher is like, she probably actually would have like, all right, girls, get the fuck out of the room. Guys, we're gonna have a conversation. All right, guys, get the fuck out of the room. Girls, come back. Girls, we're gonna have a conversation. She probably actually would have had a sex talk with us at some point. But she said, it's like, the school will not allow me to talk about this with you. Here's your like homework booklet. You'll turn it in a week. That's it. That's all she, like, we could go up and ask her questions privately, but we could not ask any questions for that chapter to her directly.
Shoot.
Like, I didn't get a sexual education until I actually took human sexuality, psychology 108
Yep.
in college.
Mm-hmm.
And I was already
That's what's so
20.
bizarre. Yeah.
I was 20 at the time and actually got a sexual education. Like, it was a more thorough education than you probably would have gotten in high school.
Oh yeah.
Just because it's on a college level, you're an adult, you're gonna have to fucking deal with this kind of shit.
Which
and
pisses
then-
me off too, because like, can you imagine how a lot of other people also wasn't able to have a better understanding of sex until they were in their college years?
And then they don't go actively out and seek that information. I'm like, I'm in a relationship with a guy. I should probably know this stuff. I'm not going to get it from my parents because my mom was like, just remember who you are, sweetie. I'm like, what are you, Mufasa? Am I Simba now? I don't know who the fuck I am. I'm a 20-year-old who's like a lost idiot. So it's like, I'm like, I have to figure this out. Like, I can't go around just blind to this. Like, I know that there were people, I remember talking to a kid kind of my age, like 18, 19, that would not take human sexuality just because it's like, oh, like, I can't learn about that kind of stuff. Like, I remember a girl in theater who was married, who was probably about a year or two older than me, like kind of like Chelsea's age to us. Like, she's like, yeah, no, I grew up in a very extremely conservative thing, and like I got engaged to my husband. It was a very proper courtship and like very traditional and all this stuff. And then I walk into my bedroom one night, probably a couple of weeks before my wedding, with like a sex education book on my bed given to me by my mom. And that's how she got the talk before
That's
her wedding.
insane.
And she was like,
Are you serious?
21-ish? She's like,
That's
yeah, I had to learn
insane.
it from a book and personal experience with my husband when we got married. Which it's
But
like,
that's
cool,
what's
you
so
saved yourself for
bizarre.
your husband. That's
Right,
perfectly
that's good.
fine, honey. But like, the fact that you weren't taught anything until shortly before your wedding is a little upsetting.
It is upsetting. And not only that, can I also just say, I get that. I do think that if you want to save yourself for someone who is special to you, like, that's great. Again, I'm not, if you want to practice abstinence, that's fine. I think that's fine. But it's also healthy for you to be able to because you're innately curious. You want to know, you want to understand your body better, because it starts early in your teens for most people, you know. And it's so frustrating not being able to understand your body in such a way. But also, can I say that for a lot of people who's like, okay, I did save myself for someone who I believed God intended me to be with, but it turns out that is not who you're supposed to be with. Or people change, and I'm going to go into something a little bit more dark, but for a lot of people, that things don't work out, okay? They end up divorced, or it could be in abusive relationships, especially. I hate that now they feel like, especially growing up in a conservative community, that now they think, oh, well, now my body is used up because like I gave sex away to someone who I thought, you know, was intended for me, and it turns out it wasn't. Now I'm used. No man will ever want me. I have heard that. And I'm just like, that is not true. That is not true, honey. I promise you that is not true. And I'm sorry, going back into the whole abortion thing. I feel like
us on a tangent.
Right. But I was like, I feel like that's another way for women to fear their own bodies. It's another way to, well, it's essentially, it's to control women. All of this is just to control women.
Yep.
And make us, and it sucks that they're like, okay, the one way we can control women is through fear. because now we can scare them into never having, well, one, to never really having kids. So congrats, for that, I guess. At least in Texas. Now you're going to have women who won't be able to express themselves in sexually, even in a healthy way, even to their husbands or their partners, because they're like, oh, now I'm even more terrified. The responsibility falls solely on the woman. And if there was
not the man that knocked her up, because women can't get pregnant without a seed. So I'm like,
but it pisses me off. But let's say that a woman gets R-worded. Let's just say R-worded. And she gets pregnant. If her assailant finds out, she tries to get rid of the child, the assailant has more power over her to be like, no, that is my kid. You're going to carry this through, which is even more traumatic for said woman. And that also pisses me off, because
that happens more often than people think.
Oh my God, I can't tell you. And it is so heartbreaking, because for a lot of women, they have the strength to pull through, and they won't resent the child, which that takes an incredible amount of strength. And because that's a psychological trauma, and so many women would end up resenting the child. So for the women who did get R-worded and kept the child, for them, that takes an incredible amount of strength, and I applaud you for it. But there are a lot of women who aren't like that, who do not have that kind of strength, who will resent the child, who will end up giving the child a horrible upbringing, because and through no fault of their own, but right. Because the mother was traumatized and never was given help for it, it falls into the child. And I'm just like, you're taking away that child's also, it's just so much. You're traumatizing the mother. It's a lot. I'm sorry. I'm just mad. I'm just so mad. And it sucks that the assailant, I should say the assailant, has more power over her own body. And I guarantee you, most of the time they want nothing to do with the kid. They just wanted to do it to control the mother. Ooh. And it pisses me off. Fuck Texas, man. Fuck Texas. And this is the fault. This is the first domino. This is the very first fucking domino to be pushed, because I guarantee you other states in the South and the Bible Belt would try and do all of this.
Ha! Guess what? I'm gonna go get my tubes tied. I'm like, cool. You're never gonna have that opportunity.
Honestly,
to do
I
any
hope
of that
so.
To me.
Hopefully this will be well, and you know what sucks? A lot of women who do try to get their tubes tied, they're like, oh, well, we don't really recommend you getting your tubes tied until you've had a first kid. Ooh. Well, I don't want a first kid, lady.
Cool. You tie my tubes or I castrate you. It's like, somebody's gonna get their tubes tied. It's either gonna be me or your balls, and I don't care who.
Sorry, I just saw a tiny paper crane and I needed it.
A tiny paper crane?
Yeah, I got a tiny paper crane. That actually calmed me down. Whew. Makes me smile. Because,
where's Blueberry? Hug Blueberry.
Oh yeah, I got a little bubble gum too. I'm just pissed, my dudes. I am so pissed. And fuck Texas.
It's infuriating.
It is infuriating. Fuck Texas.
Because what we're doing, we're trying. This is all horrible, but we're trying to keep the surface level, because this is hope.
All right, I'll be right back.
We don't ever want any of this.
I'll be right back. Okay.
We don't want any of this to happen. We don't want any of the R words. We don't want any of this to happen to anybody. It's like, if you want a child, then we would like you to get pregnant on the first go. If you don't want a child, we hope you never have to get pregnant, even just a pregnancy scare. But it's in this ideal, terrible trigger warning situation, we're hoping that this happens to people who are 18 plus. Only people who are 18 plus. Again, like, situational wise, theoretically. Unfortunately, in reality, this happens to people of all ages. All ages. Even those who are minor. Ricey is saying women, this happens to children as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, Can I say something very, very dark? I mean, it's really
I mean,
dark.
I honestly have. Like, it's dark, but honestly, I feel like
I need people to understand the consequences of this. It's like, do you know, like, and I'm very sorry, we can, like, cut this out when I do the highlight and everything. But do you know the age of the youngest mother on record in the world?
6.
5.
Shit, I knew it was something around there, but yes.
It's like, basically, it's not much of a difference.
No.
She is 5 years old. Her reproduction organs don't really kick in until you hit puberty. Unfortunately, she was born with this kind of disorder where her reproduction system was already fully functional by like 3 years old. And so she was R-worded by her uncle.
Mm-hmm.
And she did the full 9 months term. She is 5 years older than her child. Or like 5.5 years older than her child.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do people realize, like, people need to realize, like, I want to go up and, like, make these politicians understand. I'm like, do you realize that the youngest mother in the world is 5 years old? On record, is 5 years old. Do you understand?
By her uncle, by the way, by family. It just, ooh.
By family.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you understand what has to happen for a 5-year-old to be a mother? Like, do you understand that? Do you understand that if she had access to that, she would not be fucking traumatized? Like, reports say that she was just like disassociated the entire time of labor.
Mm-hmm.
Because she couldn't process
what was going on. Like, physically, emotionally, mentally. Like, It's a lot. No, but and the thing of it is, we had to learn about that particular case, because it was famous, and I hope that fucking uncle rots in hell for all eternity. No cap. I want him to rot in hell for all eternity for what he's done. But I don't know. I'm just sad. Fuck Texas.
Yeah, fuck Texas. Do we want to move on to something like
more enraging, but more able to contain such rage? All right. Wait, what time is it?
Equal,
okay.
Yeah, we've been doing it for 42 minutes. I guess it's in this situation, they're all like adult women, and that this doesn't necessarily like affect children per se, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'm like, are you ready to move on to that? Nauseum, are you ready to calm down a little bit after this?
Yeah, we're talking, because like this, as much as this is, I know is hard. We have a trigger warning. I know this is hard, but I hate not being able to talk about it, because I hate that people just, it doesn't go into people's heads. They would rather turn a blind ear to it.
Yeah.
Just because they would rather, though they are, what was it? Ignorance is bliss. They believe in ignorance is bliss. They don't want to find the hard truth of these decisions. And Texas is being one of them. Like, oh, I want to protect the child. I want to protect the child. Great. But what about the mother? of that child? What about the woman who has to carry that child? What if all the other complications that you don't even want to think about happens to your child? Like,
and again, it's like you're putting this. It's like, oh, these are ideally adult people. It's like, protect the child. I'm like, what if this is happening to a child?
And a lot of people are like, oh, well, the moment it has a heartbeat, like a heartbeat, it's a living thing. Well, no, because in the Bible, I'm sorry, there's like the first time it takes its breath, it's a living thing. But I guess there's things.
But here's the thing. America is not a Christian country. Like, we are Christians. Mm-hmm. Our beliefs control our actions. We should not be pushing our religious beliefs on other people. We're not going to push our religious beliefs on our Wicca friends and our pagan friends and our Hindu friends.
It's the air quotes conservative Christians air quotes, who are leading the fight or whatever the fuck that is.
It's Christianity. It's a crusade.
Yeah, and I'm just sitting here like, first of all, you don't know when life actually begins, because no one does. People have different theories on when life truly begins. Like, a clump of cells could have a heartbeat but no brain.
Well, it's not even a heartbeat.
It's just
like cells. Yeah.
But for a lot of women, they've dealt with, oh, I have a baby, but the heart is beating, but there's no brain activity. Does that mean it's alive? What if it was the other way around? What if it's like, there's too many things to be able to pinpoint for a child what is a living thing and what is not. And I don't know, man. Hell, man. I don't know. I get it. It's complicated. It's a complicated topic for a lot of people. But anyway, moving on. Fuck Texas. I still stand by that. Fuck Texas. Anyway, so the next topic that I want to talk about, which is enraging, but not like, well, for some people it is kind of soul crushing. We're going to talk about the D&D community, because apparently, and this is something that was hit kind of close to home. I had to see it. I seen it this week and I had to talk about it. How do I start this? It all started with the creator named Arcanum. And this man, who was in a position of power, how can I say this lightly? Manipulated, gaslit, and I don't want to say forced, but really pushed. Strong-armed a lot of his female co-workers into doing sexual activities, into doing things for his business it was just bad. I don't know how I'll be able to start this, because there's so much to dive into. So let me just dive into who this creator is. So Arcanum, or Glorious Arcanum, is known in the very, very, very well known in the D&D community. I have seen him create D&D worlds that were just so beautiful. The stories were so good, like so good, that he even created, this is my favorite thing, he created an entire VR chat world that was just visually stunning. I praise the artists who do this. It was just visually stunning. It was so beautiful to look at. All for D&D games, all for these D&D stories that could take place in VR chat, right? And not all of it is in VR chat. Some of them are just really, really good D&D games that were just so jam-packed full of these other streamers or other players who would play these games, and you could tell they all had a fantastic time. And the vision that came through from this guy's brain, right? Because he had all these different stories, and he blew up. He gained so much fame from it, right? And through that, and they say the earliest was maybe 2019, I believe.
I think that's what you had told me.
Right. In 2019, I think the earliest one, someone came out by the name of Fulcona. I don't want to discuss all of these women's stories in too much detail just because I don't want to speak for them. If you want to hear about this, it is on Twitter. You can find it under, actually, let me see if I can type it in chat. This person by the name of Naomi, she has been at the forefront of getting the girls to speak out, and well, her and several others, of course, but her thread shows a lot of the other threads of all these other women. That's her name on chat. So Arcanum used his seat in power because, again, he was very, very influential in the D&D community. I seen him play with some really big streamers, like very big streamers from all different parts of the stream sphere, right? Like, I never thought that they would all come together for a stream just to play D&D. It's really, really amazing. But he allegedly, okay, I don't want to get sued, essayed someone by the name of Fulcona. And this is when things started to kind of get worse. And because he did this apparently in 2019. And he used his position of power for her to be kind of sort of exiled from the D&D community. Because he's like, oh, don't listen to her. She's just trying to ruin my career. She's just doing this because I didn't give her this or whatever. He manipulated his entire community to push this person out. And I felt so bad. Like, no one knew about it. Like, no one realized how deep his manipulation goes. There are recordings of phone calls, business phone calls, and how if you did not do what he asked you to do, or if you gave him like any kind of criticism, like healthy, good criticism of why, oh, this story wouldn't work because of this, he will yell at you. He would speak so condescendingly of you. He will put you down because he's like, well, this is my story. I thought this. And, you know, it gets to the point that it was so passive aggressive. And he did this to his artists. He did this to like the creators of the worlds. He did this to everybody who would dare to criticize him in any way, shape, or form. And then to the women, to the majority of the women on those threads, he used his power to strong arm them into sexual activity. Let's just say. There are texts, there are recordings, and apparently there are so many of the screenshots that they took that they couldn't even post on Twitter because it was that disgusting. And it hurts because I actually really liked Arcano. Oh God, I liked him. I loved the way he created things. I loved how he created these D&D communities. And I'm just, because a lot of the people that I follow on Twitter were streamers who worked with him in playing D&D. And I'm, first of all, can I just say, I don't think I have the heart or the time for D&D. But I am the kind of person who will put it in the background just to listen to what's going on, to hear the story or to see what's going on, right? I like listening to D&D stuff. Huh?
Right. I can't play, but it's like I like sitting in, like when my husband first played Pathfinder, which was his first tabletop like interaction. Mm-hmm. It's like I was sitting with their friends and stuff, and so listening to the story and how they interacted was fun. But boy, howdy, does my ADD run rampant. Yeah. So it's like, I can.
Yeah, same. Like
I just can't.
I am impressed by how these people can create these characters with these stories, and
Right.
it's just like it's so impressive because I can't even do that.
This
And
world.
it's insane. It is so insane, and but I applaud them for it. Like I
Hmm.
genuinely
Yes.
applaud them for it. Um, so the story broke on August 30th. You
Hmm.
know, because apparently what he did is he has a partner um, who he's dating named Tiffany, that she finally discovered what he's been doing. That in the sense of she's found out that he's been cheating on her and stuff with these women. And then he goes off on a, I guess, full deletion spree where he even tried to edit. He tried to edit the chats on Discord to make it sound less bad than who he was. And they caught him. The women caught him. And this is 10 plus women, right? They all formed a group. And they caught him doing this. So what happened on August 30th or maybe 28th or something is he called all the women who he had relations, not only just sexual relations, but just like a good friendship relationship with, right? And he said, I can no longer talk to you, and you can no longer be a part of the D&D community. You can no longer work for me. You can no longer play. Like you cannot be a part of this. And then you know who he blamed for it? His partner. He's like, yeah, Tiffany doesn't want me to communicate with you ever again. And I'm just like, no. It comes out he did this to silence the women. Like to be like, okay, well, I blame my partner. However, I'm doing this to really just make you guys shut up so no more can come out about this. And then guess what happened? The women came together. They told their stories, and they were strong enough to be able to post them on Twitter. And I highly recommend you read them. Some of them, it's a very hard read. Not gonna lie, it's very hard to read some of them or to listen to the audio. It's just hard because I'm a fan of a lot of them, and to be able to see this is what's going on behind the scenes boggles my mind. And so he tried to do damage control, which is like the editing of the text and stuff. And then he posts this fucking, is it even an apology? No, because he says his response. Can I read it? Wait, how much time?
You have time.
Okay, I'm sorry. You can also put in your 2 cents, right?
I'm not a D&D person. I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't watch critical. Like, I don't watch other people play D&D. It's like I will. Like, the reason I hung out with my husband while he was playing Pathfinder is because, well, at the time he was my boyfriend, and I didn't get to see him that often, and he was hanging out with people that I was friends with and liked to hang out with. So, oh, okay, it's like, y'all don't mind me sitting here and just, like, having my little, like, peanut gallery 2 cents every so often about this shit? Or you need me to be, like a background noise? Oh, you need, like, sheep in the background? I don't get 2 fucks. I'm just gonna crochet in the corner over here. I don't care.
Right. Well, okay, I'm sorry, because, like, I'm getting heated, and I'm like, okay, if I need, you can say something, too, because I'll keep going. I'll keep going. I was telling you this as it was unfolding. I remember.
Yeah,
no,
like, it's like you would get, like,
shit.
I was working, and you'd come back, and it's like, and another thing, and it's like, okay, I need to go walk away for a second, and then you come back 10 minutes later, and one more thing has happened.
Yeah, because, like, these people, there are so many people who've worked with them, not only just the women, but, like, people who've worked with them who shared their stories of intimidation because of his position and power over the D&D. And I'm talking about, like, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's just D&D. This was one of the biggest D&D communities on the internet, I guess. Stream or playing video games. Just
online.
It was huge.
Kind of thing.
Yes, online. Thank you, online community.
You also mentioned something at some point that it's like he had comments about Cry.
Oh my God, don't even get me started.
I
Yes.
mean, I kind of need to because we need content for the
So this man,
podcast.
right? So this man, so I was a huge fan of Cryotic or Chaotic Monkey when he was a big YouTuber slash streamer. I followed the late night crew. I don't know if a lot of people know who that was, but that was a group of people, a group of guys who would play video games together, like variety games together on Saturday nights. I was a huge fan of those. I really, really, and to be honest, it was that kind of group that allowed me to want to stream. Like I was very much inspired to stream because of them. And you know, I just had a good time, and I love streaming with my friends because of them. I won't deny that, because they did help me to get started on streaming. Anyway,
Right.
when the whole thing that of Cryotic came out, Arcadum, which was the D&D asshole, sat on his soapbox and he was like, I can't believe you would do this to the women. I try my best to create a safe space for women. All this bullshit. It's bullshit. It's such bullshit. Because he did the exact same thing, if not worse. Well, no, Cryotic, I would say, would be worse in some parts.
Unfortunately, I would have to say
Cryotic was
Cry
worse.
was.
But he used
like,
the same
okay.
kind of tactics. The same thing. The same tactics. What that Cry used, he used. Because, like, with Cry, it's more of, it was hebophilia. Thankfully, this one, none of that has come out. But there has been the same kind of thing, right?
Right. There's just more of it.
Right. There's like 10 plus women.
Right.
That are coming out right now. When I heard that, of course, the members of the late night crew. Oh, Nassim, no, don't worry. Take your work call. That's more important than this. The members of the late night crew, of course, had to deal with this again through Arcadum. I read their responses. It's heartbreaking all over again to hear that, because they were like, you told us you were not going to be like him being Cry, and you turned out to be exactly like him. And it sucks having a guy in a position of power, because some of the text messages is just so vile. It makes you feel disgusting. It is so vile. Because, wait, can I read one? I'll read one.
Yeah.
I just want to read one that is incredibly fucking vile. Let me see if I can find it. Is this? I'm trying to find this. Oh my God. Oh, here it is. Feeling weird? This is Arcadum. Okay, this is Arcadum. I have to read this because this is what's been making the rounds everywhere. Feeling weird? How so? I just woke up hard as a rock and I'm currently considered fapping myself. But what's up with you? He sent that to a woman who he considered a friend. What the fuck? So that he can entice her to, and this is his methods. He would entice these women to feel sorry for him, have a pity party. Then he would go on to say, I don't feel attractive. I feel like a pig. My partner, well, he called his partner his wife, which turns out they're not even married, which was a blow to the mind. But yeah, so he called his wife, quote unquote. He's like, he blames her for not making him feel attractive or being able to put out, essentially. So he asked all these other women to come and help him find release, quote unquote release. Hopefully, hint, hint, wink, wink, okay? And when they said no, in multiple, like if you read the messages, when they say no, he keeps asking and asking and asking them, to the point where he even says stuff along the lines of, well, I helped you, you know, I'm glad we'll be able to help you with your career and all, like feeling like they owe him something. It sickens me. It sickens me to my core that these women had to go through that. And not only that, it sickens me to, like, because he didn't do this to every single woman, obviously, not every one of his friend groups, right? Like friendships. Right. But he still used those same tactics on other women to either get something out of them. Like, just, it didn't even have to be sexual, just anything. It just pissed me. Oh my God, it pissed me the fuck off. And then he cut them off completely from their livelihood. Like, they made money, right? This was a job for them, for a lot of them. And he cut them off of their livelihood to protect himself. Holy freaking shit, it pissed me off.
Bitch ass self.
Oh my God. He lied to every single one of his friends because he gave them a different story. He isolated a lot of people because he was jealous of their friendships. Like, if let's say you and me, Abby, were friends and we were part of this community, he would isolate me from you because he wanted to hang out with me more. That kind of toxicity.
I don't, like, I'm gonna try and, like, make this as, like, vague as possible, but this sounds like another very
I know yep no I know. And when I tell you that's why I was so angry and I felt like skeevy, that it was skeevy. It was just and I think that's why it hit a little close to home, because those are the same tactics that this other person would use.
Absolutely.
Blame everybody else, never them. And they played the victim so much, and this guy did the same fucking thing. If you have the emotional capacity to be able to deal with this, or the mental capacity to be able to deal with this, please read the victim's stories. Again, I don't want to just talk for them. I think that you need to listen to them wholeheartedly, because it's a lot and it takes a lot of time. And if you have the audio, just be sure to listen to that, especially in the D&D community. Well, thankfully he left, and the worlds that he's created, which, another thing that came out. I'm sorry. I'm so pissed. It turns out the stories or the notes he did to create these worlds weren't even his. They belong to other creators, other DMs.
Wait, what?
Yep, other DMs in the community. Like, because he's like the main guy or whatever, but there are other DMs in the community when they separate. Those were their ideas. He took them as his own. So they're the ones who set up the entire worlds. They're the ones who created these stories. The artists were the ones who helped develop those places, especially in VR, because good Lord, it's so beautiful. And he took credit for like most of that. Yeah. He couldn't take credit for the art because, duh. But for the stories and everything, yeah, he took credit for them. And the people who worked under him, the people who worked under him are coming out saying, this was actually what I've done, what I contributed to the community. And he never once thanked me for it. Instead, he took the praise for himself. That's so bullshit. But when first of all, he says he walked away or whatever from all of this. Bitch, I bet he got kicked out. He was like, nah, we're going to keep this. The actual creators who made these worlds kicked him out because they're like, first of all, this was our stories that we've made. This was our idea. Get the fuck out. I again, allegedly, that's just my opinion. I don't know if that's true or not. Because they're very kind of, when it comes to the business side of it, a lot of it is kind of hush-hush because I don't think they want it's sad. I don't think they want their ideas to be tainted, but it kind of already is for a lot of people. A lot of main players aren't playing anymore, which is heartbreaking. But I understand why, It's just sad to see a booming, thriving community of people disappear because of this one man who wanted to mostly get his dick wet. Straight up. But yeah, that's all I'm going to say on that. Please read the responses. Please read the victims' threads as I posted. Please, 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 please listen to their stories. And I know there's some fans who wish him the best, because I do believe people have the capacity to change. I genuinely believe that. Even the most reprehensible person could have the capacity to change. But you will have to have the therapy and the hard work to be able to make that change. And no one is, I hope he doesn't come back. I hope he never comes back. Because you can obviously tell he doesn't belong in a position of leadership. I hope he never comes back, but I do hope that he becomes a better person, if that makes sense. That's all you can hope for. I mean,
that's kind of like all we can hope for. It's like, that's kind of what we hope for. And anything legal repercussions will be handled by the justice system. Like, we should not take that into our own hands. But it's just like, that's all we can hope for with any of these people. Like with Ryan Haywood, formerly of Achievement Hunter, with Cry, because it's like, there are legal things that need to be handled by the legal system with all of this, especially since it sounds like he's plagiarizing, which can be illegal depending on like where he stole those ideas from. And that's just a minor situation of that.
I don't know if they're going to do anything about that, because it does sound like it's plagiarism. But I don't know if they're going to actually do anything about that, because technically it's like a business they all shared, that kind of thing. But I feel like I'm just glad that the person who's done all this manipulation and everything is gone. I'm very happy that they've removed him and are trying to work to be better. And hopefully it will be better. I don't think, because he was such a big, he had a big name attached to it. Like, there were so many people who wanted to play because it was Arcadon.
Right.
I hope they will still be able to thrive without him. I hope that they don't think that it's all over, because it's not. I do believe people have the capacity to be able to create something beautiful from this, and I hope that their fans would still stay with them through all this, because I want to see what happens. I'm always obviously going to see what's gonna happen in this world, because I was just entranced by it, especially the VR chat one. Oh my god, I loved watching my favorite streamers be a part of it. Like, I loved watching them, because they created their own like little VR avatars just to play D&D. It's just great. Anyway, sorry. Great time.
And it makes sense, and it works.
It does.
It makes a lot of sense.
It was so beautiful, man. I praise the artists. Oh, and the musicians a part of it too. God, y'all kick ass. Keep kicking ass. I really hope y'all still keep kicking ass for reals.
Kids ass.
I want them to kick ass forever. But yes, that's all. Those are all the two assholes that I really wanted to talk to, because Texas being the biggest fucking asshole, but you know. I didn't think we would get so into it, but I'm glad we did.
I mean, yeah, I knew we were going to get into it.
Oh, man. Hopefully we'll find a lighter heart topic to talk about next week. Unless the whole fucking thing blows up again, you know? And thing being Twitter with some other random shit, because... Bruh.
No. Sorry, my child is starting to bite my toes.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, no, like, I mean, we could always talk about Disney and how Disney's being a bitch right now, but, like, you should check out Chelzor's hot take from her stream last night.
Oh, yes, about Disney. Yes.
You think we got upset about this shit? You should hear, like, Chelzor.
It's a time. like a good time. Anyway, yeah, I guess that's everything. I hope you guys have a fantastic week.
3-day
Hopefully-
weekend.
Yeah,
Woo!
hopefully nothing else bad will happen. In terms of, I just need peace. I just need peace. Forgive me. Just 1 week of peace. No Disney bullshit. No nothing. You know what I mean? Just 1 week of peace, please. Give me a good news. Just give me good news.
No good news for you.
I need good news.
No.
But yeah, we will see you guys next week. Oh wait, who are you?
I'm at Mikiri. You can find me on Twitter under the same name. Hang on. Ooh.
Take your time.
Spelled
There
the
you
same
go.
way as that. It had to load in. You can find me kicking Ricey's ass at Mario Kart.
Yeah, hey.
I can only
That's
do that
true.
while she's drunk though, but
Yeah, I mean, I actually played pretty well. I'm very proud of myself. Holy shit! Did you see? I actually won first place once. Oh wait, you weren't there for that one, but I did win first place.
I went like my last round, or last track actually, before I had to hop off. I won first place too. So
Yeah.
but
But
it's like I haven't played in like 6 or 8 months or something. So you know, it's like, hey, worked my way up from 8th place to first place once.
that's true.
That's great.
I
but
was
yeah, I could only
handicapped.
beat your ass while
By,
you're
yeah, I was
drunk.
gonna say I was handicapped by drinking a lot. That was my handicap. I literally drank, and then I was drunk, and my reaction times were very slow. Very, very slow.
They find
was fun.
you while I kick your ass.
So there I am. I posted a bowl of rice. So you can find me there on Twitch, and Twitter by the same name. But yeah, I would say Instagram, but I haven't posted anything yet. So when I start posting again, I'll post my Instagram. But yeah, check me out there and watch the VOD for the drunk stream if you're interested. It is already posted up. I am very drunk. And I hope you like that. It's a good time. A very good time. But yes. Is that everything? Is that everything?
Where can they find us?
Oh, you can find us here. Hold up.
Here on Twitch.
Yes,
Saturdays at 11
and that
a.m.
is-
Central Time.
Yes. So that is our Twitter name. You can find us there on Twitter. Well, I always promise, hey, we'll post more, but we never do because I forget. But I'll try. If there's some good news, or maybe I'll send pictures of our cats. That would be wonderful. But yes, keep us. If there's any news or anything happening, we'll definitely post it there on What's Your Opinion or Pin 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that everything? That's everything, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I was so enraged. Now that I've calmed down, I'm like, wait, what? Oh, what's going on? But yes. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next weekend with another topic. Hopefully a lighter one, for sure. But yes, hope to catch you guys then. You guys stay safe out there for the week. Please stay safe. All right, bye.
Bye-bye.